Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 100th edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. And these are the Chronicles of Virtue. It is I, the bearded brummy Jamie, and joining me, as always, is this handsome devil right here.
For the 100th time, it's the Scotsman Tom. I also said beardsman then. That would have been very, very weird. But welcome to the 100th edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. Hit it!
Hi there. You're about to enjoy the Chronicles of Tom and Jamie.
Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Mann.
Hey guys, my name's Annabelle Knight.
Hello, this is Becky Baldwin.
Hello, I'm Chesney.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Braden from Say We Can Fly.
If you're below this hand or whatever, you're going to get kneed in the head.
We bring you the Chronicles of Virtue. Joining us this week to talk all about their brand new album, Omen, It's Of Virtue. Of Virtue are a metalcore band that can easily be described as everything Tom looks for in a band, quite frankly. We are joined today by vocalist Tyler Ennis and guitarist Damon Tate to talk all about their brand new upcoming album, Omen, available on 29th of September, and so much more. This interview is so much fun, and I'm gutted we couldn't get longer with these guys because this is absolutely amazing, and you guys are going to love this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of whispering. There's a lot of whispering in this interview, so I hope you've got decent headphones or wherever you do listen to this interview from. But yeah, we got really in depth. Obviously, because we're quite an in-depth podcast, and we only given an hour. It was really difficult to be like, So you will notice towards the end of the interview that it speeds up a bit because we're like, oh, cool. So what about this? So tell us about that quickly now. Come on, give us the info. So we do apologise for the rushness of the end of it. And boys, thank you so much for joining us. We had so much fun. I know you're currently touring the UK right now with Being As an Ocean, and we're so gutted we can't be there. It just happened to fall on a weekend where we're just both unavailable, which is bullshit. But we will definitely see you boys soon, I tell you. But boys and girls, you are going to absolutely love this. This is just all sorts of phenomenally, fantastically mental. But, Jamie!
Yes, sir.
Do you happen to have anywhere in your vocabulary any final words at all?
Just a massive thank you to the boys of Virtue. It means absolutely the world that you're joining us for our 100th episode. A massive thank you to Jasmine from the Noise Cartel for making this happen. And everyone, you're going to enjoy this one.
Oh, she definitely made us happy by allowing us to speak to Tyler and
That's
David.
very true.
100 episodes in and we still can't speak properly. I absolutely love it. Tyler, Damon, thank you so much for taking the time to sit and chat to us. I'm sorry we didn't get longer. We'll definitely do this again sometime soon, though. Jasmine, you're a legend. Thank you so much as well. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, interviewing this week, it's Tyler and Damon of Virtue.
Good.
Amazing. Jamie's just going to do a very quick introduction, and then we'll get this party started. And also, You're more than welcome to swear. You don't have to bleep yourself. You're all good.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Dame was like, I just woke up, no filter. Right, let's get his intro out of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, today we bring you two wonderful guests as we are joined by a band who, as soon as I heard them, I said, that's a Tom band if ever I've heard one. And by the message I got afterwards, I was absolutely bloody right, guys. Here to talk all about their upcoming album, Omen, available September 29th. We are joined by Damon Tate and Tyler Ennis as we bring you the Chronicles of Virtue.
Hey. That was the nicest introduction we've ever received.
Yes!
Hey,
really?
Yeah. And also, you got my last name right. Actually insane.
I meant to double check it beforehand. I just went, no, I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, well, see, it's funny. It's because people think my last name is Enos, and we all know what that rhymes with. Yes. So believe it or not, it's like there's two ends there, but it's fine. It's cool. Just call me Tyler, but thank you. So thank you for that. Best introduction ever.
Oh, Jamie, that ball was there and you just went, see you later. Cheers then. Bye.
It's gonna be one of your ringtone. Anyway.
I suppose we get into the really hard hitting shit straight away. How have the last few years been with the pandemic? Obviously, as a band, because obviously all the world just went, no, that's it. Nothing for nobody. All stay in your houses for a couple of years. Fuck you all.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest, but at the same time, it's kind of weird. Obviously, there's a lot of bad that, came out of it, but I would even say in our case, it was good because we had a chance to kind of reevaluate a lot of different things. Look back at, what was working on our last record cycle and kind of, I would say, fix some of those weaknesses. Learn a little bit more about ourselves in that process. And then I guess because everyone just had, we'll call it free time in some cases.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like anybody was touring or anything else at home. It's like, all right, well, hey, just concentrate on your life, get everything that you need to get in order, and just keep working, keep grinding. That's all you can do, really, because you never know when the things are going to come back, if they are going to come back. If they do come back, what's it going to look like? So at the end of the day, just kind of do what you want to do, make what you want to make, and just keep checking in on your family and friends. It's a weird thing. It still kind of feels like we're in it to some degree, but
is that like over in the States sort of thing? Because obviously in the UK, everyone's gone, cool, don't give a shit anymore. Let's all go outside. But I don't know, obviously, how, because obviously over in America, nobody knew anywhere what was going on. But I think obviously because Americans, your states are run by different people, obviously, whereas the UK is just run by one person. So I think obviously everyone did different things everywhere else, didn't they? So like, I think Canada closed down for the longest amount of time ever, but then California were like, it'll be fine.
Oh yeah, I mean, Michigan was probably one of the harsher like lockdown states as well. So it's like, I think there was a point where our businesses and things like that were, a lot of stuff was probably closed for at least 3 months, 4 months. It caused a lot of problems because, again, we have a state where people are very vocal about not wanting to either get vaccinated or just COVID is not real, or, having a lot of small businesses that do function on like high foot traffic or, a lot of tradesmen stuff. And you do feel bad in that sense where it's like, you never want anybody to go out of business, never want anybody to lose their livelihood. But at the same time, it's like, it seemed like it worked the best case that it could for us. I mean, if you want to talk about states like that, I mean, you go down south and it was, Texas, they pretended like it never happened. Florida, California to a degree. And it was just like, yeah, it's like you just gotta throw your hands up and go, well, I live here, so this is what I can do. So
yeah, it fucking sucked.
Just saying it how it is.
Absolutely. No, but it is funny because like up north, in Michigan, I remember my girlfriend at the time, her family, did like a summer trip and stuff, and it was like probably about like 3 hours away and stuff. And when we went up there, it was like COVID didn't even exist. Like didn't at all. Like 2020 July. It was the craziest thing. I like, there was like go-kart, there's like mini golf, go-karts, like people were going to movies, and I'm just like sitting there like, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone right now. I feel like I'm not even like living. This is weird because you drive 3 hours down back home and it's like the only thing that you're doing is going to the grocery store, going to the gas station. That's about it. You're working from home, you're doing all that. But you go up there and it was like everybody's all just like, man, fuck masks, fuck, fuck people dying. Who cares? It's just like it's literally like that. That's like the mentality that they had, I swear. So And like if you were trying to be cautious or safe, wearing your mask, doing all that, people that are like, I ain't wearing no mask, I ain't doing this, I don't care about anybody else but myself. They look at you like really weird. I mean, there was in our hometown, there was like an older man that was telling some dude to put his mask on. He's like, hey man, you should put your mask on. And he stabbed him. Stabbed him and killed him, like over this elderly gentleman trying to tell this person, in a convenience store to, hey, you should put your mask on, which, kind of, there's such a gray line with that. It's like, mind your own business, because it's not worth it. You don't, people are batshit crazy, dude. Clearly they're batshit crazy. Like, you don't know what someone's gonna do. You might be like, oh, like I'm gonna tell this person off, but then who knows what they're going through, and they're at their breaking point, and then they just stab you. So it's just such a crazy thing to think about, is like that all of this happened, and now it's just kind of like COVID doesn't exist. It's such a weird feeling sometimes.
I'll be honest, I was not expecting that. That was not where I saw that going at all.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what's
real
crazy.
Deal.
It's like, it literally like 15 minutes from my house. I'm just like, what? And yeah, people are just nuts. So just to have like things like that happen, and then people just not understand why they're doing what they are doing. And I also thought it was interesting how you guys were like, yeah, different states are ran by different people, and it is insanely crazy how you can go across the border like literally like 5 minutes, and like it's a totally different world. Well, also Ohio fucking sucks. It's the worst state ever. So we only live like 2 hours, or about like an hour 45 from it, and it is such an awful state. So it's interesting how people down there view us, and how everything during COVID for that. And then we look at them just kind of like, well, first off, you guys suck without COVID, but also with COVID, you're absolutely atrocious. Like, I'm not saying the people are, bad. There's good people, bad people everywhere. Right. But the state itself just fucking blows.
I mean, it is for the Bengals and Browns fans, so I totally get it. I feel it from over here.
Hey, you can't get any worse than being a Detroit Lions fan, though.
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything, but I mean, you had like the greatest offense with the worst defense like last season. So I don't know. I see big things. I think you're on the right. Dan Campbell will sort you right out. I think you just need some time to get settled.
It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. It's just funny how, like just our sports, Detroit used to be like the sports capital, and now it's like can't even
get knocked out of the playoffs by Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Okay. Yeah. Sad day.
So a question I like to ask every guest we have on this show, to take us back to the guys with young master Ennis and Tate. What did you guys originally aspire to be when you were growing up, before you sold your soul to rock and roll, as they say? What was it, like train driver, astronaut? I don't know, whatever it may have been.
Ooh, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea. I think I'd probably have to ask. Oh, that's a good question. You know what? We'll say a train conductor. I don't know. It sounds good. I like trains as a kid.
That works.
I'd play with them. We'll call it that.
Okay, so train conductor Damon. Okay, got it.
There you go.
Choo choo.
That's his next stage introduction.
So for me, I grew up and I'm gonna say this the right way, because it is the right way. I grew up a football player, not a soccer player.
You grew up a what?
A football player. a soccer player.
This is America, buddy.
Oh, that's right. You're one of those. I forgot. I forgot, Damon. Like, this is America. You better speak American.
Hey, man. There's a few things that I'm passionate about in this life.
Don't you say it. Don't you say it. Damon. Oh man. He's gonna say it. Just say it. Just get off your chest.
Anyways, next question.
Why are you?
Sorry. So yes. So soccer player, but then I tore my ACL my freshman year of high school, or I don't know what you guys call it over there, but I guess just school, whatever. Like normal people. But yeah, so that and just turned to music, and then unfortunately Damon and Mike at the time didn't have any other options, so they asked me to join the band. So here we are. Sad day.
It all went downhill from here.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's obviously sorry.
No, I was going to say I was only kidding, man, because I think they're great, but carry on.
It's obviously a safe bet to say that you guys were very passionate music fans growing up to do what you do today. But what was it that made you turn around from going, I no longer just want to be a fan of music. I want to dedicate my life to this. I need to play music. What was that point for you guys?
For me, it was probably like my late teens, early 20s, where just being a young person, getting into all kinds of trouble, needed something to kind of like focus all of that like nervous energy and just kind of frustration and all that, bottle it up, actually put it into something constructive. Because I would say at the time it was just a lot of, you were hanging out, you go to shows and you party with your friends and do all this, but then you kind of realize like, you're spinning your wheels a little bit. And at the same time, like anything else, I would say like I would sit there and like write songs or write things. Like I was playing bass at the time, but you always played in bands where, and I'm sure, I don't know if you've had this experience or not, but it's like, you either had like a vocalist that didn't write stuff or guitar players that didn't write anything or anybody else. It's like, wow. Yeah,
I'm kidding.
I'm gonna totally deal with you after this phone call is over with. Oh my god.
I'm so kidding. I knew that was gonna get him.
Yes, man.
Yes. No, it's funny. It's funny because Damon writes. I'm very sorry to interrupt you, but it's funny because Damon writes a lot of stuff. But I knew that it would make him. I knew that would make him like, wow, Tyler. That's how you really feel. All right, sorry. Continue, Damon.
I did have something heartfelt coming, but at the same time, lazy people. That's what inspired me to turn music from a hobby into a lifestyle. Is because you know what? When you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. And then you
do it.
Absolutely.
Do it. Just do it. For me, my brother played
all I can hear is laughing in the background.
I know. My brother got a guitar, I don't know, probably around like 2003, 2004, whatever, and he played, he took lessons, played like Story of the
Justin
Year.
Took lessons?
Yeah, I know, right? Crazy.
Shout out Justin's lessons. Whoever that teacher is, you might want to give him money back.
It's my brother Justin and Damon have a nice little a very friendly feud and beef going on, so that's great.
No, it's a one-sided rivalry.
Fair enough. But yeah, he played Story of the Year like like I swear every single day after school. So just really enjoyed them, and they became one of my favorite bands, and just kept expanding, I guess, my horizons, and then just went and watched Breaking Benjamin, or 3 Days Grace and Breaking Benjamin 2008 with my mom. And I think it was at that moment I realized, like, it would be really cool to make this into something, because I tore my ACL and stuff, and just playing music for fun with some friends, and then just created a band with a couple friends from school and my brother, and then just hopped from band to band and was in the same scene with Of Virtue. And funny story, actually, 2012, Of Virtue opened up for Impending Doom and For Today. Ooh. And yes, and I was at that show, and it was the last time that I was in a pit, like actually like in a pit, because some dude, a 200 and probably like 70-pound dude, jumped from the stage and kneed me in my head, and I blacked out. Yeah. So
you have the worst luck.
Yep. Well, yeah. So literally, like, my one of my first real impressions of Virtue at the time was, oh yeah, it was a great show. They were awesome, but I got a concussion. I had a very, 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 very small fracture.
Watch your head.
Yes. Watch my head.
You didn't do that.
I know, but I'm short. Why is some dude that's like 6'7" jumping off the damn stage, and then I get hit out of all the people? There was tall people around. It's like everybody's like, oh, fuck that, fuck the short guy. He's getting the knee to the head, not me.
Of course, that's how the law of hardcore physics works.
I know.
It's like one of those things, like when if you're below this hand or whatever, you're gonna get kneed in the head.
Exactly. It's called, if you're 6'7", 300 pounds, and you obviously shouldn't be stage diving. It's like, all right, who are the smallest group of people that I could jump on potentially? Who's gonna hold me up? Oh, you, midget brigade. You guys are all going to. It's just how it is. Like,
well, I was just like enjoying the show, and I just like look up and I just see this dude, and I was like, oh hell no. And he came at me and he kneed me in my head, and I remember I was like, what just happened? And yeah, I had to go to the hospital like the next day, and because I had a really bad headache, and it was just like, yeah, very, very small little, maybe that's why I am the way I am today. Not because my brother dropped me on my head, but because of that one.
Did you not realize that you entered Mortal Kombat? And obviously, as he dove and hit you, it's like fatality. And it's like,
oh yeah, that's right, because this is a simulation. So that was a real. So that was a.
None of this is real.
Yeah, none of this is real.
Nope.
Fatality.
I'm guessing a Virtue apologized to you by asking you to join the band. That's how it's happened, right?
No, they had no other options, like I said. So it was just kind of like, hey, this guy's kind of a nerd, but whatever. Like we'll have him along for the ride and
figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out from there. But it's all the back and forth that we all have is all in good fun, and we all love each other, I think. And dude, you're crying.
Oh, what was his face when I said that?
I just want everybody to know that during the process of this phone call, I voted.
For what?
Local election stuff, which is important. See? Look at that. Use your power. Use your power wisely. And unfortunately, at the time, I couldn't vote for a different singer, but Tyler made the cut. So
I think you broke it.
It worked out. I don't know. I think it worked out, I guess.
Are we going to see a post at some point today being like, just like a massive headline being like, a Virtue split? But you know, you've got all these shows coming up. It's just like, yeah, do you know what? We'd had enough of each other.
No,
I'll make that. I'll make that on this dang interview. I'll go be like, hey guys, I'm unfortunately not gonna be. I got just like our Lord and Savior Donald Trump once said, you're fired. So I'm gonna tell him. By the way, full disclaimer, is not our Lord and Savior. Dude's
Like
batshit
crap.
crazy.
Oh,
Dude is batshit fucking crazy. And yeah, I need to get that. I'm not trying to have someone cut this and be like, wow, Of Virtue likes Donald Trump. Like, hell to the fuck no.
if there was ever a clickbait title for you, this will get you all the views that you need in the world.
I'm sending this off to
Just-
TMZ as soon as I end the shit. It's going.
There you go. He just gave it to you on a silver platter, my man.
Yep. There you go. There's the clickbait. Our Lord and Savior Donald Trump.
And they're gonna look at me like, oh.
They're gonna be like, what is wrong with this band? Ay. Yeah, see that's gonna be like talking about Donald. Oh, that makes sense. that makes sense. They're from America. There you go.
Yeah, they'll see Tyler. They'll see the blonde hair. They're like, makes sense. You know.
I mean, I can't act surprised because makes sense. There's
Makes more sense. Makes more sense with Mike, but
oh my gosh,
that's a wild concept. We don't need to go down that road.
No, we do not. No, we do not. Nope.
So I'll tell you what. We'll reel this back in a little bit.
We're gonna reel this back.
Steer. Yeah.
I don't think my man's about to survive over here. He's just giggling and as red as a cherry.
Jamie's done. That's it. He's game over for you.
Yeah, if you wanted anything serious out of this, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, but that's not how we roll here at all.
No.
So we love the madness and the tangents and the fucking God knows what else. So if there's more there, Damon, bring it. Keep bringing it. It'd be great. And
we got heat for days.
So obviously, Damon, you're an original member of the band. So like, how did you guys all meet, and then how did obviously Tyler get involved?
So I met Mike. We used to play in a couple bands back a long time ago when we were, smaller gentlemen. Again, went through some changes over the years. Tyler, he played in another band called Ground Tracer, which if you haven't looked, you should look it up and check it out because it's pretty sick. He played in that band with our old bass player. And at the time, our singer quit. And again, really by default or no other thing. It was just a matter of like, oh, we know you. We got some shows booked. You're going to do it. And he's like, I don't know. And we're just like, you don't have a choice. And he's like, are you sure? And we're like, get in the van. And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
So,
no. And you want to know what's bullshit about this? My first out of state shows. Okay. We play our first show. We go on stage at like 1:30 in the morning. 1:30 in the morning, my first out of state show. And I mean, dude, I was like a kid on Christmas. I was like, dude, this is so cool. I'm going to play.
To the like 11 people that were there.
Yeah. But the crazy thing is all like most of them were like singing the lyrics,
which is cool.
Which for me, nice. I did not have a lot of time to learn the like the songs. So I forget things a lot. So I was like, dude, when I saw them singing the lyrics, I was like, oh, this is not gonna be good. Like I'm literally gonna be saying something. And you know how like I'm sure you guys talk to a lot of bands and you have those people that are like front row and you're like looking out to the crowd and you see them like mouthing the words and it's not right at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the opposite. Like they were probably looking at me like, wait, those aren't the lyrics, and things like that. So like that was my first like, holy cow, this is crazy. And then we played, it was just like 2 really quick shows because the third one canceled or whatever. And were on our way back home, and it was like 4 a.m. And the van broke down. We were stranded on the Ohio Turnpike. Again, fucking trash Ohio. Stranded for 8 hours. My first time ever going out. And I remember I got home and I was like, I'm never doing that again. Nope. I was like, I got the full experience of what touring's like. I'm good. And then, of course, the next time that they're like, hey, Tyler, yeah, sure, let's go. Like it's just funny because, like, I'm very thankful that they asked me to fill in and stuff. And it just worked out. It's really cool. I'm glad that we got to do what we, I guess I'm glad I got to help keep the train rolling for Of Virtue. And then, we got to make it our own again. It's kind of like a rebirth instead of, there was so many times too that I remember Damon and Mike, any time after like a show, they were just like, hey, you're sounding great, but just like, stop trying to be Nick. Stop trying to be the old vocalist. Be yourself. And I think that was like the best advice I could have been, had heard, because I was trying so hard to make it so when people would come to see Of Virtue, they'd be like, oh yeah, it's not the actual vocalist, but like that, at least it sounds similar. But when I stopped doing that, I feel like, I was myself. I think it just gave people a different perspective of like what a virtue is. And a virtue is more than just the voice, it is more than just the vocals. It's like there's so many different elements, especially the older stuff. Damon was on some other shit when he was writing that. That's all I have to say about that one. Half the stuff I like that they like had me learn, I was like, why?
It's called a time signature.
Yeah, dude.
It can change.
I did not know that for the longest time. I was like, why is this speeding up? Why is this slowing down? And it's like, and I remember there was a part in song they had Damaged, and literally like I want to say it's at the beginning, right, Damon? It like cuts into a different, like the beginning, and then it transitions into a different time signature.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So and it starts like going, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, the vocals are gonna start here, and then they didn't, and I'm like, okay, when did the vocals start? And I remember like live one time, we in 2017, before, so I was officially like in the band, I was announced already. We played a hometown show, and this was the first time that I think a lot of people have like actually seen me as the vocalist. And we were playing, mostly older songs because actually, except one, we only had one song that was like me, on the song. So I remember, we played Damaged, and I remember looking out into the crowd, kind of like how I was, saying about the first time I ever played with Of Virtue. It was like, I remember looking out of the crowd, and there was this guy. I'm going blank on his name right now, but I've seen him at shows throughout the years. I know he's a fan of Of Virtue, and I remember this dude had his arms crossed, like staring at me while I'm playing the song, and I was like, if I fuck this up, like this is gonna be bad. And I remember he came up to me after, and he was like, I was so nervous because I was like, dude, there's no way that I did that song right. Absolutely not. And he was like, I'm impressed, man. And I was like, oh, thanks. He's like, what? Did you not think you did good? I was like, I'm be honest, I thought I fucked that up. And, and he was like, oh, no, you did. and I was like, oh, okay. Okay. He's like, yeah, but he's like, I'm not, he's like, this is my first time seeing you. Like, I wouldn't expect you to know, or, expect you to hit everything perfectly. But he's like, no, you fucked up, but that's the beauty of live music. So ever since that conversation I had with him, I think it's a lot easier to just realize, like, you might not get everything, and there are people that are going to know you fuck up, but 9 times out of 10 people aren't going to know. So it's like, as long as it's the classic saying, fake it till you make it, baby. And that's why I'm still in this band. Fake it till you make
Just
it. Well, yeah,
You and you were
I mean, yeah, because you know, you heard Damon. He voted me out or wanted to, but fortunately,
See, that's a lie. That's a lie.
why? What's a lie?
I don't want to vote you out at all.
But I was the only option. That's right. Got it.
Big difference. Beggars can't be choosers.
Just going back to the people you mentioned that obviously they're mouthing but have absolutely no idea what the lyrics are. My favorite ones are the ones that do that but know like one or two words. So they'll go down. You know, those sort of people. they're the best.
They say the name of the song. Like if you have the hook of your song, like is the title, they'll hit at least the title word. Yeah. That's the best. But you know what, man? At the end of the day, it's the effort that counts because they understand I did not do my homework. I probably should have listened to this band more. And this is just about like everybody. But then you realize like, oh, I'm at the front. Uh-oh. I probably should have paid more attention. I'm just gonna do some stuff and hopefully nobody notices, but
Yeah.
And then when you get when you do get the certified, you know, capital W weirdo that does know your song, you're like, oh shoot, this is scary. I don't like it. Go away. Go away. Where's the fish mouth? Bring them back. Because the people that like actually like know the lyrics and they're like looking you dead in the eye, like.
I suppose yeah, it is a little bit creepy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So you kind of. Oh no, I was just saying you get one or the other or both. That's great. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do at shows. It's so fun.
We've got your ticket money, do we?
I don't get the ticket money. Who's getting the ticket money?
But you guys have had some amazing opportunities over the years. Like you were talking a minute ago about playing into a room at 1:30 in the morning to like 11 people. And then you're touring all over the world recently with like Disturbed and 3 Days Grace and bands like that. But what was that point that sort of launched you guys? Was it a song or a moment, or was it just progression over time of constantly bashing out these great songs?
I would say it's definitely progression. I would say with COVID before, it's like it kind of reset everybody's timeline. And for us, it was a matter of we had momentum beforehand with our last record. Our cycle got cut short. But again, it was just, we kind of just were like, you know what, let's just do what we do best. Just go write music, write what we want to do. We talk to people, we're out in the world, you know, see what people's frustrations are, kind of internalize that. We have our own things that we were going through. And you just put that into the songs. And then when it came time to release them, I would say at least this go round, it's definitely, we shifted a little bit with the sound. We tightened up some of our songwriting, wanted to make, you know, the choruses. Hello, come here. All right. We have a guest. Sorry.
Tyler's been replaced. There we go.
There we go. Tyler, you can come here, buddy. Yes, he's been like bothering me at my leg, but yeah, basically all I was gonna say is like with Sinner and like what we were doing with that EP, it seemed like it kind of kickstarted a lot of newer stuff, a lot of things, a lot of attention that I don't want to say we weren't getting beforehand, but some people are just like, oh, now you're on my radar. And I'm like, okay, well, we've always been here, but since we have your attention, we're just gonna keep doing the damn thing. And it's been great though, to be honest, like to be able to, you know, like we were in Europe about a month ago, to be back there in 4 years and still feel like it's our second home. And in some ways, some of the best shows that we've ever played, to, you know, online stuff or just talking to people, seeing, I still to this day, it's kind of crazy. So Tyler and I went to go see Being as an Ocean, who we're going to be touring with in a couple of weeks here overseas. And Tyler got there before like I did, as far as like getting to the venue. And lo and behold, he sees champion wrestler Rhea Ripley standing across the street. And the funny part about it is like she had posted like a workout video with one of our songs. shouted us out, like did all that stuff. And then it's like she's just standing right there. And Tyler happened to, say hi, like waving feverishly. And she goes, "Oh yeah, I recognize you." Walked over. He sends that to us in our chat, and I was like, "This isn't. This is a simulation. This is not real. This is like a 1 in 100,000,000,000% chance that this was going to happen." But even having little stuff like that, man, it's cool to just see it, to see where your music can go, potentially who it can touch or influence. And it really, again, is the byproduct of, people such as yourselves, where, you're giving us a platform to come on here and just be completely dumb and stupid and not talk about anything important. But in some ways, it is the most important because guess what? We're human beings. We like to joke around. We like to talk. We like to connect with people. And hopefully at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, we do have some serious stuff. We have serious messages to talk about, but life is short. You want to be able to enjoy yourself. You want to be able to enjoy those moments. You want to be able to share those moments with people that who you don't know, make new friends. And that's really, like, I guess the craziest change that we've seen is just the fact that, like, it feels like a veil in some ways has been lifted to where we can, it's not like we haven't been ourselves the whole time, because we have, but people can actually see it and soak it in a little bit more. So that's probably one of the most refreshing feelings that has came about recently.
Absolutely. And you've got to be yourself. You're important because you're not just selling the music, you're selling yourself. You're selling yourself as a brand. Even if you are going on Instagram and insulting our great country, the UK, saying we drive on the wrong side of the road, etc. Damon, I saw that earlier. Thank you.
Hey, hey, man. Yeah, I can insult your country in more ways than one. You guys have baked beans. You need to get rid of those.
No.
Your bacon's not real. That's for sure.
That's
it's ham.
True. That is also, your bacon is amazing. And we need to get rid of ours and get yours, because I was in New York in February and I didn't want to leave because I was like, I just need this food. I want to just take all the food, all the bacon at least, and take it with me and have it here in the UK.
Exactly. Bacon's not real. Blood pudding is good. I don't know what it is, but
no.
He said I don't like that,
The
and as far as like that, politics, Brexit, that's a whole, we don't even need to get into that.
No, don't get him started. Don't get him started.
Oh, believe me, trust me, I met some pro Brexiters when we were there last time, and it was a wild conversation. Just not a whole lot going on. I was like, okay, this is what it's like. This is
so sorry.
It was cool. Hey, at the end of the day, man, like, I don't agree with what they were saying, but I'm always curious to hear other people's, like, the side of things, or why you would want that. I understand why people want their autonomy in some ways, but they also have to remember that it's still government. Like, you don't have as much influence as you might think. The things that are being promised to you or being billed to you more than likely are just propagated. It's smoke and mirrors. And when all these regulations and things finally settle in, you're gonna be like, oh
yeah, I gone fucked up.
I done effed up, man.
100%. I mean, your brand new album, Omen, is out on the 29th of September. How excited are we, boys?
Very excited. It's been a long time coming. And again, to kind of piggyback off of, like, putting out the other music, it's like we're still a little old school in some ways, where I love singles, putting them out to be able to, compete, and everybody's attention spans are a little shorter nowadays.
Yeah.
It feels great to be able to finally have the full body of work for somebody to, I get excited to just get a record and click the first track and let it play, see where it takes me, regardless of, if I like certain songs or don't like certain songs, or there might be a style where, like, I'm not used to hearing this from this band, but in context of the whole record, you're like, oh, I can kind of see where they were going with this. I can see how they wanted to tell the story. And again, the most important part is it will be there. It'll be in its form where I feel like it'll finally feel understood. Like a lot of parts, we have some heavy songs, we have some softer songs. Some people are like, I don't know what to do. And it's like, I only listen to death. And it's like, don't worry. It'll all make sense. It's cool. Just give us a chance. And we'll get you there. And if you hate it after that, well, thank you. At least you listened to it one time. We made you suffer for 46 minutes.
Is that sort of like some of the feedback? Because you've released 4 singles off the album so far. Is that some of the feedback you've received? Like things like that, comments like that?
Oh, dude, I've gotten every kind of comment under the sun too. This is, the best stuff that you guys have put out. To this is sellout garbage. This is, trash radio rock. To I'm like, well, we do have heavier songs, and then they'll be like, well, I like this one, and I'm like, oh, okay, well then it doesn't matter. Like there's something for everybody. There's people that they're like, oh, I only like the softer stuff. I can't really understand what you're saying on the other thing. And it's like, well, thankfully, all of us like everything. So it's just a matter of, I think it's one of these records where when you can hear it top to bottom, because I think we all used to feel like this in some way, shape, or form when we were first getting into whatever styles we were into. It's like, this might have been a little too harsh, or this might have been this, but then there's always a band that comes along that changes the calculus of how you think about certain things. And you're like, you know what? Maybe I can tolerate a little bit more of this, or maybe I can have a little more. It's like it's shown to you in a way that's a little more digestible. And then you can open your horizons a little bit more. It's like most people aren't going into a sushi restaurant just getting, surf clam, sashimi, and, chef's choice. It's like, no, you start with a California roll. And you kind of work your way through it. You see what you like, you see what you don't like. But you're there. That's the whole important point. You're with us. You're with us for the ride. And if we happen to just take you to a different destination and then somebody else picks you up from there, even better. That's okay.
Never heard anyone describe their album as being like a sushi restaurant, and it's possibly the greatest thing I've ever heard to sell an album ever.
Could be hungry. You never know.
I mean, your PR team were very, very kind enough to send the album over to us. And as soon as I pressed play on Hypocrite, I was like, oh, fuck. Follow, subscribe. This album is going to be unbelievable. And I wasn't wrong. I actually struggled to pick a song that I enjoyed more than the rest because every song's a banger, in my opinion. Like, I just loved it from start to finish.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Hypocrite was definitely one of my favorites on there. And Omen, the self-titled song, was also just like, yeah, fucking these songs are unbelievable. But what sets this album apart from the others?
Coming in with the hard questions.
Oh, yeah.
It's better.
Good. It's a great answer.
It's...
All right, it's a great interview, guys. Thank you. See you later.
He's wiped himself out of that sushi analogy. He's just I'm done now.
Yeah, I gave y'all a hand. No, but it's way more sincere in the sense of like we kind of had to pull a lot out of ourselves in order for this to happen. There was a lot of bad stuff, again, like not even just COVID, but it's just a matter of, I don't know, there's stories that I had from my past. There's things that Tyler was working through at the time. Mike, it's like experiencing loss of family, everything. It's like we didn't want to, I guess, hide behind the music as much anymore. Not that we did with the last one, because I feel like on What Defines You, we really started to open up a lot more and put more of our personal stories into the music. But in this case, it's like, again, how you were talking about it before, of the world kind of just shut down and no one knew when it was going to come back, how it was going to come back. And I feel like if you're going to create during that time, you have to be your most honest self, most true self, because this is the time when the most people are hurting. This is the time when the most people are looking for something to connect with. And not everybody's story is going to be the most unique, but that's kind of the point, is that we are all kind of in the same boat, doing the same thing to different varying degrees. And really, I would say like it's kind of like a hidden message in some ways, but it's like it's kind of it's a unifying record. We don't have a record in our arsenal that just kind of comes together the way that this one did, with the different sounds, with the different backgrounds, with everyone that's involved with it, and who it's been able to reach, touch, and just kind of, I don't know, infiltrate in some weird ways where it's like it just feels like the fiber of this is finally like grabbing and reaching hold of everyone and everything that it needs to, and bringing it together for the right reason. That to me, that's the most important thing. That's why it makes it this one the best one so far, until we make the heaviest next record like everybody else.
It's more impact when you whisper.
Yes. All right. Now Tyler can be a little more serious with his answer, but you know.
Yeah, you guys are beautiful. Yeah, we love you.
What?
Yeah, but sorry, wow. I don't know what's going on with my voice there. But what sets this record apart from everything else and from everything else from A Virtue is I think we finally found what A Virtue is as a whole. Like what A Virtue is with Damon, what A Virtue is with Tyler, with Mike, with Ryan. Like all of our individuality is showcased within these songs, within the words that we're writing, within the instruments that we're writing, and everything was very carefully tuned, and the parts that you hear on Omen, there's certain parts in there that maybe it might not make sense in some ways, but it was done like that for a reason, and I think for us it's exciting to be able to have this body of work that for Damon and myself, during What Defines You, we kind of blended a lot of our vocals. Like, Damon and I both like sang the same parts, mainly, especially for live reasons, because then it's like when you hear you still get that element that your brain listens to. But I also wasn't very good at singing during that time. Like I was kind of newer with all of that. They challenged me. So this record cycle and these songs, and it's also really cool and interesting because Floating and Hypocrite were the first two songs that we wrote on Omen, and Sober and Cut Me Open were the last two songs that we did. So it's really interesting to me when I go back and listen to those songs. I'm like, holy cow, my singing got a lot better. My screaming got a lot better within 2 years. Like you still, it's me, but things are a lot more polished. And I think for myself and for Damon, like I said, it's really exciting that we both kind of get to shine on Omen. It's not just a, hey, you're doing this. Like Sober, Damon's voice fits the softer stuff a lot better. It's a lot more pleasing in maybe some people's eyes, but I think that was one of those things. Like we wrote that, and Damon just kind of looked at me and he was like, yeah, I think this just needs to be you. And I was like, what? No, aren't you gonna do the chorus? And he's like, no. He goes, I think this just needs to be you. And I think that just like I think genuinely it just goes to show like how selfless all of us are in this band, and how much we truly care about like what is best for the band, and not there's no ego, there's no pride within any of that. Like I do help load in, by the way. I actually do stuff as a vocalist, so I'm not just a normal vocalist. Don't you dare start getting close to that camera, Damon. Damn well Okay, there we go. Now Cat makes everything better. But yeah, so it's genuinely one of those things where I think it just goes to show like we care more about what's going to sound good and what's going to sound more raw and real, instead of just being like, okay, well, Tyler's the vocalist, Tyler does all this, or Damon's voice fits this better. But it's like, that's the challenging thing is, if Damon's voice does sound better, like we're just going to go with that. Like that's just how it is. It's not just like a envision, on paper, like, oh, this probably would fit Tyler better. But then, I do it or something, or Damon, and I'm just like, I think you would sound better on that. And I think that was the best part for us for this album, is we were able to both mature as vocalists, as lyricists and everything. And the lyrics that we wrote are more real than ever. And, we did have some help on a lot of that stuff. And I think our genre needs to be a little bit more open to collaborations, because this album would not be what it is without them. It wouldn't be. And we're very thankful for their hard work and their like careful, just like attention to detail and about like what makes a virtue. And it's really cool when you can listen to the album and be like, unless you check the credits, I feel like it sounds pretty, there's so many unique elements that it's just kind of like, it really does sound like maybe we had different producers for every song or something. Like there's so many, like, I don't really get a lot of like that, holy cow, this is the same, this is kind of the same vibe. It's just like hits you in the feels, hits you in like, you're just like, yeah, I don't know why I'm angry, but I'm angry now, like listening to that. Or, it's just like, like, wow, like I'm having a great day today, but just listen to that song, like broke my heart. So there's that.
I loved how like passionate you guys both sound when talking about this album. It's beautiful to see, and I really hope that the fans who listen to this get that when they listen to it, because it is absolutely phenomenal. I'm so conscious about time, because obviously I know you guys have got another interview, but we definitely need to get you guys back on again and deep dive, because this has been so much fun. I've absolutely had so much fun talking to you guys. Before we do let you go, though, any plugs, social medias, websites you want people to go check out?
Absolutely. Virtueband.com. We actually have a real website because we're old people. Twitter, X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all at Virtue. YouTube. Omen, like you said, September 29th. A Rising Empire. We got 2 CD release shows that we're doing. October 6th and October 7th here in Michigan. First one is Detroit. Second one is in Lansing. Got a bunch of sick bands coming out. So if you happen to be in the United States and live in the Midwest, come hang out with us. Otherwise, pre-order, pick up a copy of that record so that we can keep traveling and doing what we do, keep talking to beautiful people like yourself. So,
you're way too kind, sir. We'll be seeing you in September. Don't you worry about that. We're supporting Being as an Ocean over here in the UK.
Yeah, you're
so
beautiful.
Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah, it's so impactful.
Very impactful, yes. Well, yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun and very enjoyable, and can't wait to see you guys. It's gonna be cool to meet. And
100%.
Do you guys drink booze?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm married with kids, of course I drink.
Well, I have depression, so yes.
Oh,
I can't laugh at that. It's like,
I know. Sorry. I had to take that from my bad. I was kidding. Yeah, no, I just drink because it's fun,
But I seriously, on a serious note, I wish you all the best with the new album. Yeah. Like, I'm so excited for the world to hear it because it's sensational. And I think it's great, and I think it's going to melt a lot of faces, and people are going to love it.
Thank you so much.
But no, thank you. But we definitely need to do this again where we're not time constrained, because I think we'll have a lot of fun. So
yeah, definitely,
absolutely.
Whenever you guys want, we'll be there.
Amazing, perfect, boys. Have an absolutely amazing rest of your day, and good luck with all the interviews. And we'll speak to you soon.
Cool. Thank you. Take care, guys.
See you later, boys. Guys. See you later. Bye-bye.
What a fucking fantastic interview. This one, so good. And this band are so good. Everyone go check out Of Virtue right now.
Yeah, they're definitely up there on my list of like, it's definitely a Tom band. Like, just for me, it's like everything about it was like, yeah, catchy choruses, bit of melody, bit of screaming, perfect, tick, 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 tick. So yeah, the brand new album Omen's out on the 29th of September. So make sure you get your copy now, pre-order it. They've got some sexy t-shirts, sexy hoodies, and sexy vinyl. You need to get all over that shit. And if you can see them, they're playing Birmingham Saturday night, and they're playing Swansea on Sunday. So if you're in those areas, go and get tickets and go and see them now. You will not regret it. But boys, thank you so much for joining us. We massively appreciate it. And we really, really hope that you guys enjoyed listening to it as much as we did recording it.